that type of thing.
It's nice out there.
What's that?
It's nice out there.
Foggy, south.
It looks like it could be foggy.
Yeah, it was kind of socked in from North Topeka most of the way here.
Yeah.
So I couldn't take a nap. It's bad news.
It's interesting that the chip and seal bids from last year and this year went up over 20%. Good morning. How are you?
Good. I'm on your agenda.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Get around
So
to
we
it.
can't throw you out?
Nope. Not yet.
I was meeting, you had interviews Friday or Thursday?
No, not till Tuesday. Not till tomorrow for interviews.
Okay.
So,
Just my leave?
Ash been leaving, yeah.
Oh, really? Where's she going?
Johnson County.
Oh.
Really?
And not real happy about them poaching from me, but more money,
Sure.
less work.
Where's she live at?
She lived in Meriden, but she's moving to Lynette.
I got it.
Oh, wow.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I just didn't need one. Quite a difference.
Yeah. Well, when you're 25 years old, you're going to be in the thick of everything.
She will be.
Yeah. When you get old like us, we just like to hide.
Works at the Easter egg hunt here at the courthouse this weekend. But it's never approved.
That's interesting.
He sent me, he asked me to bring it up. He said, we have no record of being approved, but it's sponsored by Lowe's.
Well, it's been, I think, the chamber girl came home too. I saw her out there.
He is, should we, I guess we should inquire because, I mean, we have a.
She's been doing it now for about 3 years.
There's one here from the Farm Bureau, they're one that used.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, there weren't really, you know, because it used to be, it was always just done before hours. But it went away, Corey's kids took it over, went to the fair building. See, and so then they have it up every year in the fall. Then,
They had it this year.
and she started last year, the year before, maybe 2 years ago, doing it out here. And so this year, I mean, they have a lot of the businesses that contributed to it too. And there weren't any kids, but there were lots of eggs. Yeah, I have a granddaughter, we went to both.
Nice. What a crazy program. The vote.
Oh, yes,
Crazy.
I know.
I mean, he had just, J.D. Vance had just met with him. And he passed away.
I know.
Yes. And you spoke to the last.
She had a chiropractor
Yeah,
appointment
it's
at
kind of,
8:45. So you get me for a few minutes.
Are you,
I'm good, how are you guys?
Tara traded out today, did she?
No, she had a chiropractor appointment at 8:45 across the street, so I'm just down here till she gets back.
I got you.
Good morning, Pat.
Good morning.
Okay,
They just need to sign them.
okay.
And hey, Pat, maybe about 9:15, if you want to come back in, you got a question about a flag deal we want
Okay.
to run past you.
Yeah, I will look some up, so.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll see you later.
Hi.
At 9 o'clock, we'll go ahead and open the meeting with pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You are up, Pat.
Just a quick information, I guess. Given the KDOC standards and everything else, we're just switching up the hours of work for the two officers, not for Lori and I,
Okay.
to 410s, so they can get out and visit people in the field for KDOC standards. But no one will be meeting after hours in the courthouse. We already made that clear.
Okay.
So I just wanted to make sure in case you guys had any questions or anything.
I don't think so. It sounds like you got it under control. Did they ever get the door put in?
Yes, y'all should come up and see it. That's a nice little door. You can put y'all's fingerprints in because you can actually open it with your fingerprint.
Oh, right, yeah. Very cool.
So it's secure and
But
nice.
that needed to be done.
Oh, yeah. It's been bothering me for almost 3 years now. But no, they finally got in. It was expensive, they got in.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll run up, take a look at it.
Well, and if, no, we're just having an impromptu come and go at 3:30 on Friday too for Athens going away.
Oh, okay.
So that one pop up there too.
Say goodbye.
Yeah. So,
Sounds good.
all right.
All right. Thank you for what
Appreciate
you're
it.
doing.
Have a good week.
Yeah. See. I think if, anything else for Bruce down here, we'll get their contact.
Yep.
You know, as I read through here, I still want to ask Scott, why did you only budget $232,000? If we knew that last year's chip and seal was 300 and whatever, 342,875, so. yeah. Understand that a little better. That's Scott.
I make a motion. Let's do this outside. Nice.
It is nice.
All right, sir.
I was at Walmart every single day this week, and I'm not even sure. I think it was Saturday when I saw you though. 'Cause I was running back. Running late, of course.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from April 7th.
So moved.
So moved, sorry. I'll second it. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the April 7th meeting minutes. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. All right, Scott.
Real quick, I got version 11 on my computer,
I saw that email come through this morning.
and Mary's doing hers right now,
Awesome.
so it should get done. And then, was it Outlook, you said that, we had some licenses or something that can be done here in the next few months?
It's Microsoft,
Microsoft.
and that's what they're doing.
Okay,
That's what the update is.
okay. Does Bryce, see this?
No, he's-
He's
good.
Yep. Thank you
You
about
got a lot of
it.
credit card stuff that he does.
Is it in on the
No.
commissioners or?
His
is it-
computer was in
It's
our
good.
house.
I didn't see that.
Passed on.
So I saw the church side.
Okay.
Who served, they served one church with MPC where the
Okay.
son, daughter-in-law,
Yeah.
grandkids go.
We have one of our guys, Braden Russell, he's level 1. Since he's been with us, he's got his CDL, running the mulcher, running multiple pieces of equipment, so
Okay.
I'd like to bump him up to level 2.
Okay.
You got the money to pay for it?
Yeah, we're going to take that yours.
Right, whatever, so we know.
And then hopefully this is, did you guys get the resolution done for
Yeah.
signing the?
I sent it on Friday, so I don't know
Okay.
if I can
Well,
get that
until
done.
that's signed, I guess you guys still need to sign.
There you go. So this is a new Occupy?
Yeah, they're adding a bunch of lines down through, they've got a map on the back,
I see that. What,
giant.
yeah, no, I was trying to look, oh, I see where that's going, back in there on that cul-de-sac that goes in back there on, Fuller Place or whatever it used to be. Yeah, they got signs up all over the place down there. I didn't hear, do we have a resolution for today for this?
Yeah, I sent an email that, should
Okay, cool.
be, maybe received it.
Did you email it to?
Christie and Kara,
Copy.
I can resend it if there's a place here.
Let me see if I can get it to Christie.
So Scott, just real quick while they're mad. Okay, so I have the bids from last year, the amount of money that we spent on chip and seal last year and this year. And my calculations show that between the two, from last year, what we spent per mile, not, because I know we did more roads. It went up over 20% one year. But still, last year was $387,000 is what we spent. This year we're gonna spend $368,000. How did we miss the mark so bad on budgeting?
I couldn't tell you, I don't know.
You don't remember going through that?
We looked at, the time we did that, we had for the last 3 years what we had spent. So I went off that and just increased it, so,
Okay.
those numbers for last year, I wouldn't, it was going to affect this year coming up.
Get what?
The numbers for last year, what we spent,
Right.
were did on my budget for 26. So I'm saying, I would see that now, but what was spent. So for 26, I would raise it up. So to compare that, you'd have to go back to 23, see what we spent 23, to see how we got to that.
I guess I'm not, no, I don't.
To set the budget up, like, right now, I'm looking at the budget for 2026, 25's done.
Right, but you're gonna look past history. I mean,
Right.
I go by how much I'm spending a mile, not versus, not the total amount. Because we know typically in a typical year, we're gonna do about 11 miles. I'm just, so if we look at this for when we start working at budgeting, that should get us close. I would hope, you know, maybe you can reach out and talk to, you know, whoever, and see if they think it's gonna go up another 20%, but, you know, then budget according to that, if it's gonna go up another 20%, just this number plus.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at what 2023 was to tell you how we got off on 24. Because 24, I said 25. 25, I said 26. So I did make some adjustments to 26.
Okay, so what are you gonna budget above the 368,000? Okay, okay.
And something we need to talk about too is the oil and the rock we use for patching. I believe we've been pulling that out of the rock budget for the past few years. We probably need to add that into this.
Yeah, all of it, anything involved in
We
that
got like
should be.
$6,000 already this year just on the oil patch, you know, the patching, so.
Yeah, okay. All right, well,
Christie and her and I talked last week, and we're gonna get together sometime when she gets back to go over all that stuff.
okay. All right.
Right, last week, we did a little more dust control, we got T Road, 142 to 154. And we got all of 134 completed, going out, so,
On the whole route, these are, yeah.
P3, we got done over here, Landon went over this morning, he's got the roller out, and he's, since that rain, he's doing final roll on P3 over here, the P3 lane.
I know where Elmer Grant said thank you. Tell everybody
He
thank
was
you.
very pleased.
Yeah.
Good.
all the time.
Really?
After the guys got done hauling on P3, they haul on Galen and Vaughn the rest of the last week. Right now, we're prepping K Road and S Road, for chip and seal, knocking off some high spots, getting the lips busted off, all that. Put a crossroad pipe in at 04 and 118, and also one at 84 and 150. Kind of estimated our miles for mulching. It shows about 9 miles.
That we did. That's pretty good.
The meeting for Deer Run, did you get that all?
Okay,
Good.
yep, so for 6:30 on Wednesday night, and so the north, down the hill, my son and all that bunch back there, we needed to chop a Cole's driveway, my son's driveway,
Okay.
that worked.
Okay.
Jan visited, I told her we would stop at her house.
I don't know who they are.
She's the older lady who lives right as the hill comes up, she's down in the,
Oh, to the
yes,
right there.
right down there. And then, up the hill would be Warner's and Adcock's and, what baby's name, DeBarge. And so I said we would meet at Adcock's driveway with DeBarge and Warner's, and then we go on down the hill to Reese's. So,
Okay.
and that's kind of how I got it set up. And I didn't think that it probably involved Clark's, Kim, the first one on the,
Yeah, probably
I said if it did, we'd come see him.
not. Okay.
So that's kind of how I have it set.
So what's your thought process? We're at, I think we're meeting out there at
So we wanted to do
Yeah, I
that.
had called her last week,
Okay.
because she had the email thing set up, I think we talked about it today. Just kind of review some of the ideas or thoughts we had. She's getting folks to buy off on it.
Yeah, so,
I did talk to Tanky, I think I told you that last week.
Yeah.
He still has not got back to me, so I'll reach out with him again and see what his thoughts are.
Okay.
I think with what we're talking about, we could probably go in and just set a few markers, maybe at the top of the hills on the right of ways, and we can eyeball from one hill to the next hill, instead of having to do everything.
And try to
Just
adjust
cut
them.
down on some costs, survey part anyway. And the circle though, I really would like to have a good layout for that circle.
I agree.
Because, man, if we're where we think it is, that goes. Are you familiar with the guy that's next to your son there? He's got that fence with those little brick
Scott
fence.
Foster, yes.
Okay, and those milk cans that are down in his yard, we're gonna be down in those, by those milk cans. It goes down that far. If we're right, yeah, like I said, it's a bunch.
Okay, so 6:30 out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of the tubes that we ordered, those bigger ones are supposed to be coming in this week. Got the 260 inch by 60 foot, one's going to 330 and P3, one's going to J5 and 270, and the 8 foot one is going to T6 and 246. Just be set there while we'll work on them later. Right now, this is for delivery. We got our fire extinguisher inspections coming up this Friday. Keep that going. Jerry Gay's blade is down for the moment. Our manufacturer's on a ramp to do a service or repair on that. So, no hydraulic problem. Our one roller that we got to roll with, some pack rats got in there and chewed some wires, so that's about $4 grand on that. So it's up and running now. We got the email last week about the federal exchange. They got that going now and told us what we get. So we're right at 80,000, after the 90% claims.
And that goes back into your rock bill.
I want it to go.
Yeah, so make note that when Scott gets the federal exchange reimbursement. That needs to be noted into his rock budget, with the budget, not 0.4%, not capital outlay. 331.
Yeah, to the 100, 500.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Fuel tanks were empty this morning. I'm pretty sure. Both of them.
Theft?
Huh? Nope. Just ran out from our supplier and took them. We called last week, told them the number one was full or empty, we're stuck in there. And he goes, well, number two's been at 61% since April. So, okay, so we
And
just trying to get fuel, it's empty.
Poor reading.
Must be something wrong with the reader or something. It's stuck there at 61% for months, or since first April. So we called, trying to get some fuel, brought in today. The tribe down here, there's two places that they worked on. One, I just found out this morning, so I haven't had time to check on any of it, is N Road 190 to 198, or about a half a mile between there. They've come in and rocked that minimum maintenance road, so I don't know if they're wanting to get something changed to where it's a gravel road, that section, or if it's gonna stay minimum maintenance, or
What's the street, what's the?
190,
190 to what?
190.
198, well, it's about a half mile in there.
On the end road.
In road, yes. And then also 182 road, J to J4, they've come in, and it's a minimum maintenance also, and they've come in and put clay down, so I don't know if they're getting ready to maybe rock it also, but normally you wouldn't come in and pack clay in the road unless you're gonna do something with it, so.
Was that on your guys' inventory list? Like minimum maintenance?
Yes, both of those are.
Okay. Designated.
Yes, so
And these are
I don't know if they're,
outside the bounds,
no, they're inside.
but are they roads that we're maintaining? That's minimum maintenance. They're maintaining their minimum maintenance.
Yes, so
Okay.
again, I don't know, but even if they do that, if they went in and gravel this one, and they're gonna keep it that way, again, we don't know whether
Right.
the farmer had to do it or pay them, or, you know,
Right.
whether it's gonna be changed to a gravel road, we need to update our maps.
What did they do on J Road?
Is 182. From J to J4, they went in and put clay
What?
down.
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
Then last thing I had was are you gonna come out for a meeting this week, or you have our safety meeting next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday, and so Thursday we would,
Normally we do.
yeah, I'll do that, 8:30.
Okay.
Yeah, 8:30 will be fine.
That's pretty much all I had.
I got a phone call on S Road, south of 190th. They were cleaning the ditches. Somebody was just shaking them up. Great. His concern was they put new gravel on there and they were rolling the old dirt into the new gravel. I want to check that, because I think we had,
You said south of 190?
I believe so. Doug Hub residence right over in there. We want to make sure that, like we talked about, if we're going to do that and roll it on the shoulder, we roll the gravel out of the way and put it on one half. They may have done that. Just, I would like to verify, and that way I can,
I still haven't made it up to 238 yet for the new rock down. Get you that answer. You asked the other day if he was wondering on that new rock.
oh, yeah.
I haven't made that.
I don't think I have anything else.
Do you
random list, now we're gonna call that off.
We should.
I don't know what the forecast is.
They're talking Wednesday night and then Thursday.
Anyway, I think it's supposed to be later Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Bring your.
I can do it.
All right, thanks, Scott.
All right, thank you.
Pat, we had talked about getting an extra set of flags for the room next door. Had Mark this up to you?
I used that
Or did I did, okay.
Not broke them up.
Didn't stay in the whole 9 yards,
There's
whatever.
a reference, I mean, most of them are just like a gold base.
I have no preference. I'll let you pick. Thanks, Aaron.
Most of them, I found is 6 to 8 for the adjustment. But they want little scalping or whatever, so.
Yeah, whatever. I don't, you know what?
There should be one over there.
Yeah, I said something like that here a while back.
Just let us know and we'll take care of it. Good.
Someone had her in the room when she was like. But I brought also some microwaves that he had me sent him a copy. They looked through it and they accepted it, so he was good to sign off and get it back to him.
Okay.
You need a copy?
No, I got this other one.
This is on the inspection, their maintenance contract.
The maintenance contract. So,
This is what you need signed off on.
yeah, I don't know, Mark, we won the night, but just give it to her and get it sent back to him. Huh?
I said, is there a place for you to sign?
Yeah, it's
Here it is, it's in the middle.
No.
I'll have her send it back to him or something, something to do with
Right.
it. All righty,
Thanks, Pat.
you bet.
Todd, what you got going on today?
Well, we'll get that resolution this week. With more than one copy, she's turning them out. Okay, well, let's, I can use these two. It's a resolution on it, all right.
Check out. There's your sign copy. Resolution number?
12.
Entertain motion that you were good, to approve this.
So moved.
Okay, so resolution 2025-12, a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Jackson County to authorize County Public Works Director to approve all requests for petition to occupy county right-of-way and repealing any and all resolutions contrary therewith. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. And I second it, moved and seconded by.
All right, next up, we had the issue with the destroyed house. Researching this, I determined exactly why we're having this difficulty. I could
Okay.
When the resolution was passed in 2021, I don't think that was, the Commissioner of Insurance was notified of the fact that that was passed.
Okay.
Because what you do is you pass that resolution and then you send that to the Commissioner of Insurance, and there's a listing that they produce, which is where I think your insurance companies will look to when they determine whether or not to retain that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, well, it was my predecessor.
Are you gonna take the truck out today?
Nothing, I don't think so.
I thought you was gonna have to do a run or something.
No, not today.
Okay.
Thank you, Pat.
I think my predecessor missed that part of the deal. So in fairness, I mean, my position would be that if they did not receive standard notice of your guys' position, then they can't be blamed for not retaining that 15%.
Okay.
So, I didn't send any letter or anything to them, but, I think at this point, whether or not, they can't be faulted necessarily for not retaining it, so I'm not gonna, the letter is gonna get on their case about it, but it really isn't appropriate to do that, so.
Okay.
We'll you can keep an eye on it, and then I talked to the commissioner, and I'll follow up with making sure we get on the list for that. And so we should, after this, be able to do that.
Okay.
So that's that. As I noted, I tried to get a hold of Darren Rigg, didn't get a hold of him last week. You got the resolution.
So that was on the bridges.
Bridges and,
So at this point, we haven't sent a letter to him.
no, we haven't. Because I thought we needed to talk directly on the phone. If I can't get him shortly, I'll do that.
And it's
By
just,
letter.
so at this point, they're gonna move ahead with whatever plans they have.
Well, the question being is, I don't know what the plans are, or what they're doing, because I didn't get in touch with them, so. For all I know, how far they're done with it or whatever, I don't know, or that they were gonna stop is the question too.
So
And-
the only way to get them to halt their project at this point is you through their attorney.
Well, I mean, everything that they would do would probably be essentially voluntary at this point, I thought. I mean, because just as a legal perspective, if, somebody says no, what's your next step is the question. So that's what I'm looking at, is saying, without assuming they say no, but what if they say, well, we're gonna do it anyway? Part of the question is are they, is it in compliance with federal regulations in the bridge thing, and all, is there a way that we can comply with that? That doesn't resolve the underlying question about who it belongs to, because that would then probably be a litigation question, honestly. Because if they said, we're gonna continue to, fix roads that are right of way, and we're gonna put bridges, and we'll do this on our own, without clearance from you guys, and that's just gonna, there's no decision on that until we go to court.
Okay.
So, and that's just it. That's why I mean it's voluntary, because the real threat hasn't been made.
Okay.
And I got more information on the building out in the floodplain, and that got complicated again, because I'm trying to coordinate between what the what the state requirements are for the floodplain, so we don't contradict them in doing this, but and we have a permitting problem as well, just a basic note. Yes.
Right.
So I don't want to cross, I guess there was a letter sent by the state that I got from Kate. Just see if I just send a copy to her, or That was just April 15th. And so they're making the complaint, the only complaint that the state can make, which is,
Flood.
well, yeah, floodplain and fill, you know, you can't alter the base flood elevation of the property without state approval, so lacking that, they just say, well, they don't care about building, they care about the dirt, which is somewhat odd to me, but there you go, so.
And from the building without a building permit portion of it, what are we gonna, how are we gonna move ahead with that?
Well, I mean, to my mind, it's gotta be removed unless there is, you know, action taken by them. I mean, some places they would allow, if it was properly, you know, if it was built in the proper place and compliant in every respect, they might entertain a late submission of a permit and then.
But it would be then coming before the Board of Zoning to ask for that. If it was built in the correct place, that's the direction they would have to go.
Yeah.
But
Well,
because it's built in floodplain,
Well, we just go to the, whoever approves building permits. I don't
so
know,
it's just up to Kate.
Yeah, it's up to Kate to say, yeah, you can or can't, and then she says, you know, you can.
But at this point, it would be no, because it's of its location.
Yeah, and there's probably, I think, again, you could think of ways that it could be, because if they get approval to alter the base flood elevation where they were at from the state of Kansas and the county from us, number one, and they was, you know, that's how you would do it. You go first there and say, we're gonna put dirt in here to level this out. And then the state would say no or yes, and we'd say no or yes, and presuming it's both yes, then they get the building permit after that.
So through this process, is there, without me going through and look at, have you looked, is there a fine that's assessed on a basis, daily basis, whatever that?
Yeah, I think there is a standard that, and I didn't.
That's okay.
Yeah, but it's,
Okay, we can.
yeah, it's a, I think, just a daily fine of $100 is the statutory standard, so you guys could probably make it for more, but basically, yeah. Every day is a new violation, that's a misdemeanor too, it's a criminal charge in one respect as well as, you know.
So at some point, this could be turned over to our attorney upstairs, and charges could be filed.
Yeah, and then the date that, you know, you could probably establish a date that it started construction and, or that it was completed and that probably would date the violation started.
But it's kind of up to the state first.
Well, no, the state's only gonna decide one thing, which is that would it, and I don't know what their, I mean, this is a question because I don't know what their position is on retroactively approving. I've seen, you know, say okay to putting in fill dirt and altering that, you know, as somewhat of a routine matter over smaller areas. So, but I don't know retroactively, you know, like we're seeing here, whether they're just gonna, yeah, we're okay with it, you know, or retroactively would be recommit for what you already did. For all I know, they say no.
Will they communicate with Kate?
I don't know if they will or not. Maybe they sent this to her. They just copied her. Because it was to the owner. Yeah, it was Jackson County FPA. Floodplain authority, maybe. So, I'm assuming we'll receive notice of that too.
Yeah.
That's where we stand on that. We'll all be corresponding with him. I mean, I said until such time as they submit something, there's nothing to approve, so we would
Right.
direct removal of the structure and restoration of the ground.
Okay.
And that kind of, I don't know if that's a great idea either, but I don't know what you do to keep the ground there. You probably, 'cause it looks like it was treed in pretty good.
Yeah, I saw a picture, but I don't remember what it looks like a large facility.
Yeah, it's a pretty big building, right?
And then there's also the fact that Kate's office believes that they're operating possibly a business out of there, so that would involve rezoning
Yeah, and then,
issue.
yeah, and, true, so it should be unless it would be, there's probably no way it would qualify what they're doing as a home occupation. So, yeah, they're needing more than just this, to get themselves fixed up.
Okay.
I don't know if there's anything else on my list aside from the new business, and I can, if that's proceeding. We'll talk about that in executive meeting, but it's not all that.
I don't have anything for you, Linda.
Nope.
So yeah, if you want to move into new business, if you've got some things into that we need to talk about.
Well, I don't think it's worth probably discussing at this point, I just have two contacts, so.
Okay. So you don't have anything else for us?
No, on that front,
Okay.
and that's it, I think that's my list for now.
Okay. Tara, would you mind calling, up and talking to Kate and see if there's anything that she would need from Todd? If not, no sense hanging out,
Okay.
because I don't see anything else on the
Well,
agenda
she's supposed to come by.
for contract negotiations.
Okay, you got that, so, yeah. Well, I haven't told her, I mean,
So if you want to fill her in on that.
yeah, I can jump up there and talk to her too, so, if she can't make it, then I'll.
Okay, we'll see where she's at in her day and see if she wants to move that up.
I think they're saying they don't need it for the contract issue.
Right, I don't know that we do.
So,
It was just if she had anything,
He just gave the commission comments on this, insurance
or review post-contract is fine.
She said she'll come back and give an update on that stuff.
Okay, come down.
no.
To hear your update on this.
Here's my update again.
Yes.
Well, she'll know that I wish, so.
Okay, we have, stick with that, that's what fund do we want to take that out of? And the recommendation is risk management, so,
I do have, Kurt sent this to us, you needed to come in, he had a new slime bid.
okay.
They didn't get that fixed, my grandson keeps saying, why is that blocked off?
Yeah, he wants to get this one here.
If you're okay with that, we'll just, general consensus, the board would take that out of the risk management.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Okay, Kate?
No.
Sorry, we're talking out of turn on this thing, I see. I was telling them that on the fire property, I contacted the Commissioner of Insurance and the county was not on their list. So when you pass those resolutions, I guess you're supposed to go tell you notice the Commissioner of Insurance and introduce a list. I think that's the list that probably your insurer was looking at when they decided to pay out. Because they didn't get notice, and so technically the lien doesn't attach, and it's probably not very fair for us to go back and fault them for that.
Okay.
So,
So no, that's great.
yeah, and I'll coordinate with them and get you in touch with them or whoever to get us on that list. Because I think it's basically just sending them
The resolution.
Really?
Copy of the resolution.
I didn't find a copy of, I found the draft version, not the past version, so.
I sent that to you, didn't
I don't think
I? I sent you some resolution.
yeah, you sent me the stuff on the floodplain. Yeah, and that was the other one, was just, I was telling him that I had seen the letter from, he sent the letter from the state of Kansas, and I got my feet under me about that, and that we were just saying, essentially gaming it out that as far as, you know, if the owner were to get retroactive approval from the state of Kansas for putting in the fill, and you chose to, as floodplain administrator, to approve it, then they could maybe ask for the building permit retroactively if the zone change. So it's a lot of ifs there, but we're still looking like that needs to be removed. So, I don't know, I've never had, I don't know if you've had this experience, but I've never seen the state retroactively approve a floodplain fill permit or change base
I haven't
elevation.
had a whole lot of, issues with floodplain and building the
Yeah,
floodplains.
the only ones I've had have been where they've applied.
And so, at that point, then it's gonna take some action on our part. And I was asking about the fine for not doing this, what, is there a fine at this
Well,
point?
there's something in the regulations about $500,
Yeah,
and I attached that to the letter that I sent him.
Okay.
Let's see.
the two first pages of that, this one. That was nice.
Upon which a violation has been committed or shall exist, shall be punished by a fine not to exceed $500 or by imprisonment if not more than 6 months for each offense, or by both such fine and imprisonment. Each and every day that such violation continues shall constitute a separate offense.
So basically, the definition of a misdemeanor.
Did you get a response back from the owner?
No, what I sent that out on the 15th.
So it could take 6 months to get there.
Yeah.
So last Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah,
Okay.
so.
That's the letter that I sent out, and then Janelle Phillips with Division of Water Resources sent out a letter as well.
Okay.
And we got
That was the letter from the
Thursday
state.
or
Yeah.
Friday, yeah.
So, I got all that information, so.
So the way what we were talking about this morning, we see there's 3 pieces to this. One is the floodplain, 2 is no building permit, and 3 would be that there's possibility that it's not even zoned correctly because if they're possibly operating a business.
Yeah, it depends on what that building is for.
Right.
He looks as if the, on the aerial, there's farm trucks lined up along the front of that property, so.
Could be ag. Okay.
So the insurance commissioner,
Yeah,
do I need to send them a letter with that resolution then?
yeah, I'm trying to. Let me, I'll email you the information that the person I got in touch with, because it's really difficult to find that, for whatever reason, it took me how long to find just a person to talk to, so. Yeah, I thought it would be like, yeah, here's the list, on the
Right.
website, and it's like,
Right.
nowhere, so I'll get you the information on the person to contact.
And you want me to send a letter and a resolution to them?
Well, I'll check and see what, I think I wrote down what they need, so, but I'm sure it's just that.
So would you'll be taking care of it, not Kate?
Well, I want to get you in the loop with the right person at the
Okay.
insurance department, so that I don't want to be a go-between
Yeah.
for the future, so, I'm going to get you in touch with the person, who, I guess, is the master of the list. So,
Okay. Then you guys wanna see me later today, or do you wanna wait?
No, we can go here. I think we've just got a few things we're gonna go over here and then we're gonna come back down.
Okay, so 10:45 is good?
Yeah, if you want to make it 10:30. If it's earlier than that, we'll fight.
Okay, I have to run and get gas and
Okay.
stuff, so. Okay.
Or flexible.
All right. Thank you.
So Kurt wants to take this slide, playground equipment piece out of his capital outlay, and he's got money for it, so entertain a motion to approve that because we can see it's been moved. I'm seconding it, $1,904.90 to replace playground equipment. It was damaged by, who knows?
Right.
So all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. All right. Well, Todd.
you too.
Okay.
You'll be a nice one, sir.
Do you get to just drive around out in it?
No, I got a court date tomorrow, so I'm gonna go back in my exhibits in order. Somebody built a building on a property that wasn't zoned for it, so.
Another one of those.
Yeah, it seems like it's happening a lot nowadays.
Just ask for forgiveness.
I don't know, it's chaos out there, we're not.
Just payroll to look at. And we have verification from the chamber and approval for change in payroll. Tara, do you know, I was asked to check to see if a lawn use permit was given for Easterly House.
I didn't remember that, but I didn't know.
Well, I'm asking.
I didn't know about it,
Okay.
but that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
I don't recall ever seeing anything. So I think,
It didn't happen
April
when I
I'm
was.
organized the one on the courtyard. She's the organizer.
the problem is if we allow it to happen, great idea, great that they were able to do that. Someone else could come in and say, but they didn't have approval. And so then they're gonna say, we want to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately.
Are you sure this permit shouldn't be at the chamber office to start with?
See, I didn't know that that was a new, like, when that happened last week, that was new to me, because that's not how we used to do it, so I didn't know.
So
that
basically,
that way.
Tara, what we decided was, because there were some outside influences that wanted to come in and ask to use the courthouse lawn, that it would just be vetted through them. And so then we would approve it over here or disapprove it. And so, the chamber is aware of this. They know that if somebody comes in, that paperwork has to come back over to here. Because that they were part of the conversation. So yeah, if you just want to check and then maybe,
Yeah, I can check.
I think at the very least what we would do is just, and we'll wait till Mark gets back, he can probably reach out to the individual who sponsored it and just say, hey, just want to let you know this is what the policy is, and moving forward, here's what needs to be done.
They emailed, I sent them the form, and then I have the form back, I just called over there,
Yeah.
didn't do anything.
Makes sense.
my question would be, do you want all the commissioners there?
Doesn't matter to me.
Because then that would involve a clerk or somebody to be there. Do you feel comfortable just meeting with them?
No.
I mean, no, not by
No, because
yourself.
I don't know anything enough about roads. So
Okay.
no, honestly, I don't.
I'm just trying to save, you know, having to have the whole rigmarole of an open meeting
Right.
and that if what they're moving ahead with is just, again, some more information, talk to the individuals, and really it's gonna be Scott talking to them. And then, you know, if you don't feel comfortable, maybe Mark as chair would wanna go up there. And that saves having a clerk there, that saves having to let the paper know and all that. And then he could just maybe give us a report back. Thoughts?
That's fine.
You good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know you represent that area, and if you wanted to be there, if you wanted to be the lead on it.
I wouldn't mind being there, but I don't know, is it?
And I don't think,
Every
Linda,
Wednesday night?
I don't think you not understanding the roads, that's what we have to stop for.
Well, I feel that way too, but.
You're there representing the people, and I think having your face there
That's
is
why
what
I
they're
think I
looking.
should be there.
Yeah, and so if you just show up, and Mark and I don't, again, it saves having to have a clerk there and all the open meeting stuff. And then you just give us a report back of how the sentiment of the people and what they felt
That's
like it. And let Scott do his thing, that's what he's there for.
Right, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay?
That works for you?
I'm fine with
Okay,
that.
we'll do it that way then.
Okay.
Okay.
Where are you guys
We're gonna start back like at the top of Coles driveway and have that bunch, that group there, all meet. And then we'll go to Jan visits and then we'll go to Adcox
And,
and,
in the neighborhood?
yeah.
and Linda, it's okay, if I were in your position, I would want to announce that to the group, once you get them together, say, look, all the commissioners were willing to be here, but
Okay.
because of this is why I'm here, I represent this district, and I'll give a report back to them. So that they're not going, well, we haven't told them enough to, you know, have everybody.
No, I can do that.
Thank you.
Sure, yes.
We've got a payroll change for Travis Spiker, promotion. Sorry, Nancy. Do you know what Farm Bureau, Tara, has proposed, what they're doing up there? They've got a,
Oh, it's a hamburger, it's beef month, I think,
oh,
yeah.
serving hamburgers.
oh.
Does it not say that on there? Sorry.
What day is that?
It's May, this is, right here.
May 21st.
Yeah, they usually do like a, yeah. They
So
throw
they do it
burgers
for lunch
and
or-
chips
Yes.
and-
Yeah.
So just beef appreciation. Okay.
I should have attached the email, I think it had all of that, all those
Oh.
details on there.
Okay. Do you have any problem with it? Card for Christie.
Oh, okay.
You can always have it there. But, request, chair, and margarita.
Okay.
And then, I think Mark comes back Wednesday.
Okay.
You might reach out to him, just let him know this is up here.
she has, let's see, that's what,
Somebody said,
that's what
Pat said.
Pat told us. And
So I texted him Friday, he goes, hey, he goes, what's up with that week?
I know, I talked to Kristen on the phone, and she's like, oh, that Pat. Like, okay,
Typical man, you never
they're
listen to
exactly
anything.
right.
That's it. I get it. What do you think, the whole moving into private, and just, I mean, lots of them, how you want to approach that? And I don't know, engaging, but
I wish that everybody could just know what the other one's doing and agree
And that's over a year ago, we had that conversation, I did, with their chair. And I said, all we're asking for is in advance, here's what we're gonna do. We approve it, and we approve the details. Not, oh, we've started on it, here's what to do. He refuses to do that, and that's why I think the piece of us letting them know that these roads do still belong to us is an important piece, because in his mind, he does not believe, once they took them over, he believes it's just theirs, by the way it is. And so I think establishing that is going to be an important part of this conversation. It's only going to work. I mean,
and how long is the South State Jail?
indefinitely.
Indefinitely.
Once he keeps getting reelected as a councilman,
That's what we're about, yeah.
I don't know. Their things are way different
Just
than
said
ours.
that way. I got you. I got you. Did you study this contract much? David's contract?
A little bit, I read through it, was there something that jumps out at you?
Um, Yes. So this is what she wants now, and that's what she wants to raise it to, which doesn't seem out of line. But this is what maybe look at the treasure. And I feel like that should stay in line with this, is my thought.
Okay. Let me,
And I think I have my,
so let me ask you this, what certifications do the elected officials have versus what an appraiser has? An appraiser is the only one that we have under contract.
it's true.
So that's a negotiated contract. I mean, are there certifications that other elected officials have to have?
I mean, like, she just went a week or two ago to that Sanborn, you know, yes, there's schooling that they all go to, there's certificates they get, treasurer's office too. I mean, it's, I don't know how to say it. Because she's the appraiser in zoning, she deals so much directly with the commissioners, because that's how her job is.
Right, and the other piece of this, I guess if I were justifying that salary, it's because she holds two positions. Both of which used to be separate at one point. You know the longevity of it. We had an appraiser and somebody who did the other, zoning.
Right. payroll, the clerk is clerk and election officer, and treasurer is treasurer and auditor. And you got your tax side, and your driver's license side, and then you got your vehicle side, and then you got election, plus all the payroll and everything else that goes on. I mean, I feel like they're putting out a lot of fires too, you just don't know it. You know what Kate's doing because it's down here in, you know, part of it. But I think they're probably doing as much up there too. I guess I just think to keep peace with everything, they should be the same.
Have you ever researched what other counties do and what their, if there's a difference between,
I don't know, she might have had something on here. I also am curious. I'm curious with what she brought down here. So she has 3 employees, wants to have 4. So there's all these different steps that she has here. Okay. And then there's the clerical that is on the pay plan right now. So I guess my question is, are some of them that are up there right now where she wants to move them to? I guess I want to understand that better. I guess I just see, so this is an appraiser's payroll plan, okay, for the appraiser's office. So is that taking it completely away from here? And then each office is gonna say, I want my plan, I want my plan? I'm just trying to think ahead.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. This would not, this would only be for a new position of a deputy, which is what she's wanting to create. It would not affect the rest of the employees.
That would be this one, right? The top one? I guess I'm trying to figure out where,
Well, that's a question we need to ask.
yeah, where a plan one comes in, and I mean, she has one that's up there that is the personal property person. She's got a lot of different places on here. And then the back sheet has this clerical, which just came off of this paper.
Okay, that's where it came off of.
Yeah.
second page versus clerical is actually less than. What was on, what's when I was looking for?
Yeah, see, that follows it exactly.
Follows it as far as description, but not amount of pay.
Yes. So 2068, 2130, 2191, and 2319.
You're talking,
You
I was
have
talking,
2024.
yeah, that's the only one I have. I don't have
No, we have
2025.
2025. You should have answered. Or she needs to print you one.
Yeah, probably needs to print one.
Actually, you know, I think she gave them to us, and then there was something was gonna change, and she needed it to give us a meeting.
Yeah, we just need an updated.
Can you print another one, please?
Okay, so the clerical portion, she's got identical to it.
Right.
But this is a completely new,
This is all completely new.
a new position.
Right.
So I would have to do some research.
I mean, you think that this is all in person?
This, yeah, she would not have more than
This
one,
here?
one of these, yeah, in her office at a time.
So
They would only be eligible for that.
so the one person would start here and climb on up.
That's the way I understand it. But
Okay.
we can ask her. Yeah, so in a particular department, there's only one foreman, or there's only one of these deputy appraisers.
Right.
In upstairs, is there anything that in any of the offices that a deputy can do anything? Is that correct?
Pretty much so.
Sign off on, there isn't anything that only requires the elected official to. See, because of this, there are only certain things that Kate can do, like the valuations and those things, and she can explain. But she can't have somebody without the credentials to do, because they're not trained. I guess that would be part of the thing that I would see. I'm gonna do a little research here. We got time before she comes in.
Three, it has a three. Okay. You guys got this all the way from this report that was down here?
Thank you. Three-hole punch it, put it in here real quick. So, just a little bit of information, I just Googled in Kansas, we typically do appraisers make more money than treasurers, just pick one. And it says, yes, in Kansas, appraisers generally make more than treasurers, plus the salary ranges are based on experience. Appraisers, real estate appraisers typically earn significantly more than county treasurers in Kansas. And then it goes into why. So the average appraiser, it says because of the salary range varies based on experience type of appraisals. It's based on education also, according to this. Okay. Generally, it's because of higher levels of education experience than other positions. And again, I'm just trying to read and educate myself. I'm just reading you what if you will. Part of it too, it says it's demand. So that plays a factor into it. So. And we can go into more detail. If we want to go into executive session for the contract negotiation. So she's here. So I'm going to give you this if you want to read it. And we can go into executive session first. Non-elected personnel contract negotiation. And we'll go in at 10:17. I'd say 30. Because it could take a while to go through all this.
Okay, I'll move to go into executive session for the purpose of personnel matters of non-elected personnel for a period of 30 minutes, starting at 10:17,
To include
to include commissioners and Kate.
Okay. Motion, I'll second it.
Okay.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay.
How are you doing?
Yeah, one field trips and all that stuff. So
Right.
When her office reaches on that, she's still in charge.
Right, I know that,
Yeah.
I know that.
That's gonna be
I
done.
think that this is yours, then.
Yeah, I'd like to table this.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I'd like to table this till Mark's back.
Right.
So, you're good with that?
Till then?
Mark will be back next week,
Next week.
so. All right, will you be around a bit? If I come up, I have something I want to show you.
Yeah.
Go over with you. You can slip away and I can show you this. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, yes.
Christie's gonna be okay with me not giving her the budget at this point. I mean, I can give her something, but,
Yeah, I think right now that's fine.
okay. Thank you.
You can always just give her the highest and then we can back that out.
And does she like absolutely need it right now? I mean, it's good to have them all in,
Yeah, you're fine.
but, okay. Thank you.
Thanks. So we're doing the agenda. Took care of the minutes. These are the differences, those. this was just for information.
Yeah,
Thank you.
is that the format you wanted it in?
I appreciate it. Yeah, this makes it so much easier.
Is it okay that the historical society is on both, or do you want it just on this
Yeah,
one?
this is fine. This is great. I appreciate it. And you haven't noted that this was already on the appropriations sheet, but this really helps when it comes to remembering who all there is and stuff.
On the chip seal one, I
Mhm.
asked Christy about that, and she said that the person who did the budget just, no idea where that number came from.
I would agree. They missed the mark completely. They just, and that's why I brought it up. I mean, this year, we need to pay, Scott will have to pay more attention to that and make sure that
Everybody
we're,
needs to watch and double check. Go
make sure
line
that
item
we're,
by line item.
yeah. I would agree. Did you have anything else for us?
I was gonna tell you that I had a meeting on Wednesday last week with Brandon and Anthony Kayworth to start a safety committee.
Oh, fun.
Okay.
So,
For the courthouse?
for the entire county.
Entire, yeah, okay.
So I invited the sheriff, public works director, and Banner Lake and courthouse custodial just to start. And so it was Kurt, Pat, and John Calhoun and myself that attended. And Brandon and one of his associates, and so he just kind of went over how to get one started and kind of gave us an outline of the goals and stuff for that. So I brought his presentation.
And that helps us insurance-wise and
Yes,
stuff?
it can, and then also can help with claims, you know, keeping things
Right.
safe while we always
Because I
have a
think
impact on
Scott's
that.
kind of been doing something like that.
Road Bridge already has some things in
Yeah, and
place.
you know, years ago, the county had it.
Right, we used
Yeah.
to have one a long time ago, and then it was something Kathy wanted me to get started, and I started the process of getting one going again, but then COVID happened, and we had extra tasks associated with that, and it just didn't happen. So Christy asked me to start it again, so I had a meeting with him, and
Makes sense.
So-
I know we had
we're kind of just gonna start small, I think, and figure out what our goals are, and just kind of really get back with them, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
at some point, they said we might need some budgeted funds, and I think it'll be really minimal. So, there's some, Brandon, in that packet, Brandon has some trainings that should be required by employees annually, and some that should be required like every couple of years, so.
Do you know within that, is there anything on defensive driving?
Yes, every 2 years. So Road Bridge has been doing that, but the rest of the employees who drive county vehicles have not. So that's one thing that we're gonna kind of work on, getting that taken care of. And
It used to be that if an employee went through a defensive driving course, you got a discount on your insurance personally.
All right.
So, yeah, I think that's a good idea.
And we did do defensive driving, I think, at,
we did when I was here last time.
Yeah.
I set that up.
I
Here,
think-
we did a CPR
I
class
think we
too, that I
kind of-
set up.
left it up to who wanted to do it.
So, just so you're aware, kind of in the very beginning stages of getting that going.
You might know, or maybe you know, is there anything in there about having an AED here in the building?
We have one,
What, is it on the third floor?
it's on my, it's on the second floor.
It is, okay.
By the postage meter.
Inside that?
It's
Yeah.
in where the, yeah, I check it monthly.
You do or Pat does?
I do it.
You do it? Okay.
And there, is there a sign on the, I guess.
No, there's no signage. And I've already talked to Pat too about doing some trainings in the courthouse for some different drills and things that we can do also.
Yeah, because if the public needed to get to it, they wouldn't know it was there.
Right.
We may want to consider putting a sign up, AEDs.
And do they ever get outdated or anything?
Yes, that's what I'm checking it for.
Okay, because we've had that one a long time.
Pads,
The pads get expired and then the battery has to be checked monthly, so that's what I'm doing with it, keeping track of that.
Because we got that after
But it
my,
is expensive, so I don't know if we want it.
get that after my car died.
Yes. I don't know if we want it. Hopefully, with me and video, and then we can get it. I don't know if we might just have it. I don't know, like, how that works, or why it's in the location it's in.
yeah, because if you go to the school, it's in public locations, lunchrooms, entryways into buildings.
But they're also usually locked facilities, not where public isn't just.
I mean, I think their thought was, okay, it's the middle floor and that room isn't ever locked that I know of.
The
But-
ones that I've seen, they're in a case.
Case,
that
out.
you-
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I've
mean,
seen
it's
that
like
too.
you can just take it out
Right,
and run with it, but.
right. Yeah, that's good.
I don't have anything, if you don't have anything else, I don't have anything else, we can,
So moved.
Okay, moving second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say aye.